So, Jamie was definitely not a bridezilla.
Was that sarcasm or was that a statement, like a fact?
That sounded like sarcasm to me.
No!
I think it was a fact.
So
Are you saying it was a fact?
Back in 2000.
You're saying it sounded like a fact.
Definitely not a bridezilla. That was a fact.
Do you think you were a bridezilla?
I don't. I think I was stressed.
Sarah just starts laughing.
Why?
I was laughing at Steve's face.
Hey,
He was
first
looking
off,
at you like.
Real quick, how old were you when I got married?
Oh, let's do some math. What
11,
year?
12, 2005.
2005. I was born in 93.
12?
So, yeah. 12.
Well, 11 probably.
11. If it was January.
Turning
yeah.
12.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, not till August. So,
Yeah, that's true. So
yeah,
11.
11.
So you do not remember a single thing. You wouldn't
What?
even know what a
You don't think-
bridezilla was.
I remember things when you were. You remember things when you were 11 years old?
No, absolutely I do not.
Are you serious?
I do, but do you remember things?
You don't remember anything
accurately?
at 11 years old?
Some things.
Like, I remember, like, 12-year-old, like, baseball. Like, I
know,
remember
but I'm saying,
8-year-old baseball.
I do not think that Jared remembers things accurately for,
Oh,
like,
okay.
someo's wedding, an older sister's wedding.
Dude, I remember a lot of things about your wedding.
If
it
I
was a big deal.
bridezilla or
You were
not.
the first sister
But
getting
if
married.
I was a bridezilla or not.
Yes, I do remember
He
that.
does not know that.
I don't really know because I wasn't around.
That's very true.
I let Jamie bridezilla away without me being even in the same state.
Yes, which makes it seem like we were apart for a long time, but
It was like 2 weeks. It's
there
Christmas break.
There was a lot more wedding planning going on way before that.
And you have to
Like
remember,
think.
Christmas was going on.
Yes.
And so the reason was we split for our last Christmas apart.
And it was really just me working.
So it was a week and a half,
My
maybe 2 weeks.
behind off. It was 2 weeks of me just working. Like,
Because she did all the decorations. She made our cake.
yeah. So,
You made your own cake.
yes. We decorated. I made.
She's not a bridezilla.
I made the whole decorations. We did the whole decorations, me and my mom and my dad. And then, yes, I did make my own cake, wedding cake, and I'm not a baker. I just didn't. I'm cheap.
I thought it looked good, though.
See, I remember your
It
wedding
was
cake. It was like
interesting.
white with like red flowers and black.
Wow.
Okay.
I remember you had lanterns on the entrances.
Did we have a drop ceiling or no drop ceiling?
You did have a drop ceiling.
Nope. And that was one of the reasons I thought maybe she was going to turn into bridezilla, but she didn't.
You did have the foyer open as well.
I wanted a drop ceiling so bad.
I remember you had the foyer open too.
Do you know how much a drop ceiling was going to cost? Like $800.
Did we not do the decorations?
We did. That's where they all
With
came
Dad?
from. They were created for that event.
They
Yeah.
were, but also there was some people that were that they felt bad because I don't know, they couldn't. They were doing another
Oh,
wedding,
so they let
and
us
so
use
I
the
had
lanterns
some.
and-
I got some things that I was able.
Because you had a park benches too.
Yeah, those ones.
See,
were,
I
those
remember
ones-
things when I was 11.
Those ones
pretty
were
good.
donated,
That's
which
pretty
was
good.
super nice. But anyways, no wedding planner, no
Would you have wanted a
cake
wedding planner, though?
decorator.
No, I don't think so.
Yes, I would.
Okay, wanted one.
Loved a
But
wedding planner.
Do you think you would have utilized a wedding planner? Different than, like, wanting one? Like, wanting to relieve that stress, but you kind of like decorating and having it a certain way and that kind of
Yes.
stuff.
I think
I
the wedding planner
did
would have just
enjoy-
took notes of what she wanted.
Yeah. And then
Not
they would
planned
have
it.
done it, which would have been a big
That would've
stress
been nice.
relief, but
The setup would
I
have been
liked
different.
setting it up.
Because she also set the whole... I helped too, but not as late as you did.
No. So I also, like, months before, I taught myself how to sew.
What?
And sewed every chair cover. I bought fabric, I cut it up, and I made chair covers because they were too expensive.
I think that was my job, was put on the chair covers.
Yeah.
That was like, hey,
Jared,
what
go
can we do
around
to
and
get
put on
your
these
head
chair
away from
covers
everybody
that I
else?
sewed. And
She wouldn't let me do anything else.
So we got material.
Don't touch the
Don't touch
decorations.
anything.
We got material, and I taught myself how to sew, and I sewed the chair. I made up my own chair cover.
That must have been an
idea.
amazing Christmas vacation you had there.
I did. And so I sewed the chair covers and I sewed the fabric for the centerpieces. So I made my own centerpieces, took pictures, printed them off. pretty much.
See, I don't remember anything of the lead up to.
Yeah, he
I
doesn't
just remember the
any
actual
of
wedding. I don't remember the lead up
the
to.
stress leading up to. But yes, Steve was definitely like, do whatever you want, and so
What was more stressful, the lead up to or the day of?
Yes.
So the night I stayed up till 5 a.m. decorating. So
And I stayed till like 1:30
yeah.
and left because I was just gonna go get our hotel room ready because I thought that was my job, which I think it is, right?
Yeah, I'm not.
Rose
I didn't think
petals
about
and candles, which you're not supposed to have apparently in hotels.
No.
Because
You can't have candles in
turns out
hotels.
wax will melt over onto your carpet.
Yes, which it did do.
How much did you have to pay for that hotel room
I
afterwards?
don't think they notice. It's a Las Vegas hotel. They have weirder stuff than that go on, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
I know which hotel that was.
Plus, we did get married in Las Vegas. But
Shotgun wedding.
I don't think I was a bridezilla, personally. I think I just had a lot on my plate.
We did have some crazy stuff happen.
Yes.
Like for starters, you decorating the whole thing. It's kind of crazy.
It is.
And then you went to bed at 5.
Yes.
Woke up at like 4.
Yeah.
Like you
How
woke,
does
what'd
that
you get?
work?
A half hour
I
sleep?
got probably less than an hour of sleep. Me and like my
She went
maid of
backwards in
honor.
time.
Me and my maid of honor. Like, so I had my friends there, and they all kind of just slept on a mattress on the floor of my house. They were like passed out as I was decorating. Some tried to stay up at the building where we were having our reception as long as they could.
Were people trying to get you to give up
Yeah.
during the decorating?
Yeah, but it needed to get done. Like, nobody else could do it. No one else knew where to put things. I had it all set up.
That sounds like a bridezilla type
Whoa.
talking right
No,
there.
they
I would never say
never wanted
Nobody
to
else
take-
knew where anything needed to
I would
go.
never say
If I would have said, "Hey guys, take it from here," they'd have been like, what do we do? Where do we put things?"
Sounds like a communication problem.
Sure. And so,
Then you were up at like 5:30.
yeah.
And you went
to get
got
my
your hair done.
done.
And everything went smoothly until the wedding. And that's where Jamie's
Until
family...
the reception.
Oh, the wedding, I was saying. 'Cause
Oh.
That's where Jamie...
That's right. That's where Steve comes in.
I did come into the wedding, yes.
Is there such thing as a groomzilla, do you think?
Yes.
So I got alerted
It's not
at
talked
our
about
wedding.
often, but there's such a thing.
We were doing like a temple wedding for our church, and so there's like a room, and one family sits on one side, the other family sits on the other side, and I got called in and like, hey, whose family is this? And I was like, that's Jamie's family. She's like, where's your family? So it's past time for the wedding to start. This is like a scheduled place. Like there's other weddings waiting for us to finish.
Yeah, it's like booked out. Like you have to
And
call months in advance to get your time.
They were not happy that not one person in my family was there yet. And so they're like, call your family and get them the freak here.
Were they all okay? My question is, were they all traveling together, or were they all kind of just separate?
I mean, my guess is the effort was to come together.
Yeah.
My family's a wee bit out of sorts. Was that the right word? Crazy?
High maintenance.
High maintenance?
Where were they
those
living
things.
at the time? Where did they
They
come
were all from Arizona. My
They're
parents
all
were up
in
in
Arizona.
Idaho.
We had lots of traveling going on.
We had a
but they
lot of
were-
people, too.
But they were there.
And they were supporting us.
the day. Maybe some were coming in the day of.
I think they're coming the day. I think everyone was pretty much already there.
Yeah.
Because it was early morning.
That's true, it was early
and
morning.
nobody. Not one. So then I call. And of course my mom is like, well, you told us 9 o'clock. I'm like, yeah. So like if a wedding's starting at 9 o'clock, do you show up at 9:05 or do you show up maybe like 8:45? Apparently,
Depends
the
on how
side of
important
the
you
family
are.
shows up at 8:45 and my side of the family shows up at whenever they want.
Knowing my mom, it
O'clock.
was probably like, we need to be there at.
8:25.
Yeah.
You know how early she goes to the airport?
Yeah, that's true. She is probably at the. You were getting your hair done, and she's already at the temple waiting for
No.
us to show up.
I had
No.
to stand outside for that
We
whole
were
time in
very-
the cold and windy.
We were very much. My family probably was very much there.
They were all there. I
much
know.
earlier
Plenty
than
early.
100% they were all there before my family because I witnessed it with my own eyeballs. They're like, hey, whose family is that? And then, sadly, it was not mine because I would love to blame that on you because then you could have bridezilla'd a little bit. Maybe if you were like adding stress. You didn't even know this was happening, I don't think.
I do
They might have
remember them
mentioned, "We're
coming
still
in and they're
waiting."
like, "We're waiting for summer," and then yeah, I wasn't.
Did you
there
think I was
doing-
getting cold feet in there?
No,
Okay, I was just checking. I didn't know if you were like.
no,
"See?"
but you were. I think you even came and sat down by me, and you're like, "I felt like you had mentioned that, like."
By the
Did
way-
that ever cross your mind just to bolt?
Oh my gosh!
she
No,
thought
to
about that for a
bolt,
second.
Like,
That was
while
a-
I'm sitting there.
Like before
Runaway
you get married,
Bride
like
it?
Runaway
No.
Bride.
No.
You hesitated.
She
big
hesitated
time right
hardcore.
No.
there.
Never
Look me in the
thought
eyes
to
and tell
vote.
me you never thought about running away.
I never thought about running
Before
away.
the wedding. After the wedding, that's another
After the
conversation.
wedding, there's differences there.
That's why I'm asking while we're sitting there. Yeah. No, like that morning, I think I was in a daze of non-sleep. I felt fine. You know, it's not until like it hits you later on, but I think I was just like.
I rubbed her face at one point and she almost killed me.
He was rubbing my makeup off.
Yeah, she's like, don't touch me. Oh.
Bridezilla type actions.
No, she told me what. She's
No,
like,
I just-
my makeup. It wasn't
Yeah.
like, I like to make it sound like this was this mean attack.
And I was like, you're rubbing my makeup
She's
off.
like, my makeup.
but it was like this, but it was like a.
It was
like
cold
that-
outside. I was trying to warm you
And
up.
I'm like, you're rubbing my makeup off. And then I think he was like, looks at his hand. We have a video of it.
Have a whole nother face on his hand.
Come on.
I didn't even have that much makeup on, but I'm like,
You
any
looked-
makeup
you
I
looked
have
good,
is
though.
gonna
You
come
looked
off.
good. You were a
I
hottie at
don't
the
know.
wedding.
I just don't think I was a bridezilla. Jared thinks I was.
I don't know. We did have a moment.
We did. I mean, so his family does end up making it to the wedding.
Eventually, they showed up whenever they wanted. We got married.
We had a luncheon.
We did a
everything
luncheon, that was
went
great.
Everything went well. The luncheon.
I feel like everything went smooth.
Yes, and then we get to the reception in the evening time.
All decorated.
It's a long day.
Looks gorgeous.
I got it decorated. It looked great. A lot of effort put into that night.
Jamie was
was
hot that day.
I don't know about that.
I was tired that day.
She was tired, but she was looking good.
I would have taken back a lot of that. Like, I would have been like, why didn't I, like, get someone to well, because I didn't want to spend money. But, like, do my makeup for me. I did my own makeup. We did have someone do my hair.
Yeah. But we showed us the reception and things kind of fell apart on us.
They did.
I mean, how far?
Literally.
Like the beginning was all good. I mean, how far into it?
It was right
Pretty
away.
early on,
Because
really
they were
early
Was it really?
They were gonna play music and so they were like, all right, we're getting started. Music comes on. It's
I think we had music going on for a bit.
I thought there was
Something.
music going,
But not
then,
not like the scheduled music. It was just kind of like
intro, like waiting, and then but it was still it was during that time still when it started because it was pretty early on.
yeah, it was early on and then
And that's not me. I'm not even exaggerating. That's what the sound was. It was
what was
loud.
that again?
It was like trying to connect to the internet back when I was a kid.
there was a loud anytime
They had the internet
DJ
when you were a kid.
Okay, when I was a teenager.
anytime the DJ tried to like play like get on to the mic or get
It just
anything
got out of
started,
hand.
it made this loud annoying sound that just
It was worse than what I'm doing.
filled up the entire gym, and it was loud. Like we had people that were covering their ears. It was so annoying and so
And
loud.
Jamie was just perfectly stress-free during the whole thing.
I remember my job. I was the gift person.
Yeah, Jared.
I remember looking at all your gifts and being so. I wanted all of them. You got a lot of
wanted
those.
it- toasters.
You got a lot of waffle makers.
Yeah,
I think
you
the
wanted
waffle
all-
maker
you
was the
wanted
one I
every
really
waffle
wanted.
maker?
Yes. You got like 5 waffle makers though.
I did.
But the DJ was failing. It was falling apart. It was loud. It was going on for, a while.
It was a long time, and I'm realizing, okay, so my reception has started. People are here. They're sitting down at the table, but we can't do anything.
No
and
songs.
so there's like. You think of a wedding reception and people sitting
A lot
around
of people,
mingling.
too.
What you don't realize is that there's always just a light music being played. And you don't realize it's happening until there's nothing. And you don't hear anything and you're like, there's something missing.
But there was something because it was every now and then because he was trying to fix
And
it.
he's running around trying to figure out, and he has no idea his setup.
He didn't set up the stuff. He was just
No.
DJing. And so this thing is loud. And we get through the line part and all that kind of stuff. But I think there was no music at that point already.
Yeah.
Because we left there and we walked out of the gym basically because Jamie was
Yeah.
not feeling great.
Because I was like, we had planned our dances and everything.
There's a lot of people there.
There was performances going to be happening. I had a sister that was going to be playing, which would have been fine, but I had this whole schedule and stuff going on, and
It was headed towards the drain.
it was.
Everything's going wrong. People were starting to eat, snack. It was just and it kept that loud randomly.
Mm-hmm.
And you were upset.
I was upset.
I think that's fair to be
I
upset.
didn't yell at anybody.
No,
I
no,
didn't
no.
do
Upset.
anything. So
Jared feels like
I
he's
guess
You had that face.
okay.
I know
so-
I know his older sister's face. That face do not talk to me.
Okay, yeah. So
it was Bridezilla.
The look on my face was the only Bridezilla thing because I didn't.
Let me see the look.
I didn't.
Can you?
But everyone, how
look.
was it worse that everyone's like, it's gonna be okay. Don't worry about this. I have my phone. You can play music on. And that kind of stuff going on.
It was worse.
I don't know. Back then, did they have phones that could play music?
No. Everyone had a solution.
No, it was.
I'll just tap the sounds.
It was. It's not a big deal. Like that, I don't want to hear. I want to hear, man, this sucks. Yeah, thank you.
We went for a little walk.
Justify my feelings here.
We went for a walk and talked and chatted, came back, and everything was smooth. No, it came back.
No.
But luckily, I had a friend there who actually did understand how to like follow a wire from one thing to another. And he's like, I'm going to just go over and see if I can fix this. And he went over and like, oh, well, that's not plugged in.
All he did was plug something in. Literally, something just needed to be plugged in. I don't know. It got unplugged at one point, and it didn't get it fixed. And he went in, and all he did was plug something in, and voila. And I'm like...
Didn't everyone cheer?
Why? Yes.
I think he knew what was going on, too, because I think he knew what the problem was before he went over. Because I remember him being like, you think it'd be cool if I, like, just took a look at that? Like, I know what's going on.
And maybe I feel like it went on forever.
It did
but
go
maybe
a while.
it didn't. I don't know.
Half hour?
Yeah, like
that's a long time.
Did it go on that long?
We walked outside. We left. It was going on while we were still in. We went out, went for a walk, came back in. I remember people were like sitting down and eating and stuff.
Yeah, it went on for enough of a time for me to think like
we're not going to be doing our dances.
We're not going to.
I remember there was a time when I was like, the DJ was like, well, we're not going to have music, so let's just all get together, hold hands.
No,
that's later. And there was music. Oh. We don't want to talk about the weird stuff that happened. We did some kind of seance.
No,
the ghost
but like,
came down.
The entire theme of the reception was music based.
Yes.
So.
But then it turned into a dance party. I think everyone was like, we got to make up for some lost time. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot going on. It was a party. It was fun.
I remember certain songs coming on with other people that maybe...
I like big butts. No, it's not that one.
Nope, it was Laffy Taffy.
Nope.
Tootsie Roll.
Yes.
Tootsie Roll.
Yep.
It was either Laffy Taffy or Tootsie Roll.
That's a classic.
It was one of those two.
But anyways, we danced our heart out. But I would say that in the long run, that's not a Bridezilla moment. That's just...
You were just upset about something.
I just got upset.
I think you'd be upset if that was happening at your daughter's wedding, too.
I assume that a Bridezilla is somebody that's like...
Plans her own wedding, make sure it's all done perfectly, does her own cake, make sure that everything's spotless.
I will say...
Won't let anybody else touch anything because she's the only one that knows how to do it.
The only...
that type of stuff,
Bridezilla
right?
is demanding of other people to do things.
The only time I heard her complain, though, before the wedding. The only complaint before the wedding, besides, like, you were a little bit stressed, like, the day before... like getting everything ready going because you were just like, I don't have time for all this. You were a little stressed. That was minor. The only complaint though up until then, like when we were doing phone calls, was you were sad that you weren't going to get the drop ceiling.
Yeah.
But you didn't say you were talking about how much you were working and that kind of stuff, but you weren't angry about it. I would say like you weren't. It didn't sound like. But I guess I wasn't there for you to be like. Maybe you were bossing everybody around.
A woman whose behavior in planning her wedding is regarded as obsessive or intolerably demanding.
She wasn't demanding.
I'll say obsessive.
Demanding of herself.
So you're half of a...
But
you're half a Bridezilla.
Assume that a Bridezilla is like where everybody's like, oh my gosh, because it's like, I need this, I need that.
So extremely demanding, difficult to deal with.
What if you just do it on your own? No one had to deal with me. I dealt with everything on my own.
Because I think the Bridezilla part is that everyone's having to deal with you, right? Like that's the bigger thing.
I want this.
So
in
thumbs
my
up
wedding.
or thumbs down?
I need this.
Bridezilla or not
so
Bridezilla?
Obsessed with her wedding as a perfect day, will disregard feelings of her family, bridesmaids, and even her groom in her request for a perfect wedding.
I don't know.
She
didn't really impede on other people.
No.
And the music thing, I don't think that was a Bridezilla moment. That's really something's going wrong on a special day, and you're a little emotional about it. You weren't like screaming.
Who becomes difficult and unpleasant to deal with. Was she unpleasant to deal with during the music thing? I'll set that over to you, Steve.
I would say no. Unpleasant. Here's
Good
why.
answer. Good answer.
Because
Good answer.
I've been trained.
It's a smart answer.
I didn't yell at anybody.
If she would have been like over at the DJ, like, get this freaking thing going and like losing her mind, I'm not paying until this happens or this is going on.
That's a Bridezilla.
Yeah, I can see that.
But none of that happened.
Or being like,
you're a closet
you need to fix
Bridezilla.
this. Or me saying, you need to
She
fix
wasn't
this
mad at me
right
at
now.
all.
This is ridiculous.
She was sad.
I wasn't imposing.
Like we were out talking about it, and it wasn't like it was like I can't believe this is gonna it's gonna ruin our day because we can't do our dances. I wanted to do our dances.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. So I would say that was the bigger thing. There wasn't really it was sad. It was Sadzilla.
I would say, yes, I was a Sadzilla for some parts and a Stresszilla, but I wasn't a Bridezilla.
All right, whatever you say.
You were only 11. You don't remember.
I remember being scared.
Does Jared even remember his own wedding? We couldn't know the date earlier, so.
I do remember my own wedding. Of course I do.
I don't remember Jared's wedding.
Was your wife a Bridezilla?
No. Not at all.
Good answer.
She wanted something else.
What does that mean?
I mean, her Mexican weddings are different than American weddings, I feel like. But she wasn't mad that it wasn't that way. She was kind of like, well, this is the culture here, so we'll do it this way.
Yeah. And she was kind of in a jam where she couldn't
express I mean, it was one of those.
And how would it be different? Like, what would she have done differently? Like,
They party all night pretty much for a wedding, right?
Yeah.
The events or the way it was set up?
So they do go way more all out,
yeah.
I feel like. So they do go way more all out. Like, I mean, we did it at the venue was just the church.
Yeah.
And we decorated it nicely, but I think it's...
She would have had more. It would have been more elaborate.
A little more elaborate, probably. But also at the same time, we didn't have money. So that also goes into it. But
which is a lot of stuff you were
partying
doing.
All night long, I think what hurt her was not having all of her family there. Because her family are party holics.
Yeah.
And I think... if our family and her family would have been together, it would have been pretty crazy.
Big.
It would be tough.
It would have been pretty crazy. But it was hard because she couldn't get all of her family there.
Which takes away some of it.
She had an aunt, an uncle, a grandma, and a couple friends. That was it.
Yeah, that'd
be that's
I think
that part of things.
She would have had it bigger and louder.
She actually wants to go to Mexico, and I guess what they do in Mexico a lot, and maybe they do it here too, but they renew their vows.
Yeah.
But they have a whole nother wedding party. And so she kind of wants to maybe go to Mexico and do a wedding party.
That'd be fun.
Like a renew vows type of thing. Just because to be able to celebrate with all of her family.
Should we go to Mexico and renew our vows?
That'd be super fun. I mean, I think about going there just to get presents. Get that waffle maker I want.
You think they go buy presents for renewing
They actually do.
Oh, what if we do another wedding for ourselves?
I mean, it wouldn't be for that reason. It would be the reason for the party.
Yeah,
and a waffle maker.
Because you've never given us a wedding gift.
No, of course not. No, I organized all the presents. That was my wedding gift.
Right. I gave you a wedding gift.
Did we?
What did you give me?
I don't know, but I know I gave him a
Probably a waffle maker.
I also decorated
one of those waffle makers.
Probably the same waffle maker that you received. I remember you guys were organizing the waffle makers to give away to other weddings.
I also stayed up to 2 a.m. decorating your semi-elaborate.
I mean,
wedding.
I decorated my own wedding too. I built that wall.
Mm-hmm.
Kim did the cake. I did the backdrops. Steve was the DJ.
Oh, I was gonna say, did I go to his wedding? I was trying to remember.
You were the DJ.
You were the DJ.
Was
I gave you all the songs. I mean, the music didn't go off, so.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm better than my DJ was.
Yeah.
We had a GoPro up there that we filmed it all to give to her mom so she could see it.
Why didn't you Zoom it?
Yeah, Zoom was not in existence back then.
Why are we so old?
Holy moly!
This is what 7, 8.
You guys.
So your wife was not a bridezilla.
No, not at all. You were close to bridezilla. You were in the closet bridezilla.
Right.
Whoa.
Any other our sisters?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think you had any bridezillas, did you?
Mm-mm. Apparently, I'm the only one.
When are we doing our next wedding then? I think we should throw ourselves a wedding.
That was so stressful the first time. I don't know if I want to
have someone else do it. I'll throw you a wedding. I'll decorate it.
What if we do a tradition?
See, that's a bridezilla type of comment.
What if we do a tradition where someone else throws you a wedding? Like, what if Steven throws us a wedding? That'll never happen then.
No.
Taylor.
We're not having our kids.
That wouldn't happen either. No chance.
We're screwed. Jordan?
I don't want my kids throwing me another wedding.
Fine, Jared. Who would you rather?
I'm your best option.
Who would you
I
rather
have the best music taste. I have the best.
Who would you rather have plan our wedding? Jared or
Derek?
Steven? Or Derek. Throw them all three in there.
I don't even want to choose this.
Which one would you choose? This is probably the
curious.
easiest one.
You probably.
Thank you very much.
You chose pretty incompetent people.
Whoa. Derek, I am sorry she said that about you. I
mean, I feel like I would throw a
Derek was
freaking
the
awesome
obvious
wedding.
answer.
So
if we asked Jared's mom, it would have been Derek.
yeah, that's true. But
Inside
Whatever.
jokes for people who aren't here.
all right, Bridezilla, what are we doing next?
I'm not commenting because I'm not a bridezilla, so.
So
I know what the thumbnail should look like.